music. I'm on that shit today.
I'm on that shit today. Nigga.
Another one.
Fuck is you talking about?
Stay with us. Don't motherfucking play with us.
Yeah.
Salted Nets.
Hey. Oh. Hey. Oh.
So the first thing the first thing I want to say as I open up this podcast on this illustrious Sunday, the first thing I want to say is thank you. The listenership has been growing. All right.
Shout out to yourselves. Clap for yourselves.
You may be doing something right. There's a few of you with us. We don't know what to call y'all yet. We're going to come up with a name for y'all. But for now, we just want to shout y'all out for showing love. We really do appreciate it.
For sure.
So much has changed. So much has fucking changed since we last recorded the pod. Everything has changed, it feels like. We've been doing Damian Lillard Watch for the whole fucking summer. It has been the most uneventful shit of my fucking life. That shit got real hot and then it got real cold.
The last 2-3 days.
But just like the NBA does, they hit us with a switcheroo. They hit us with a fucking curveball in the middle of the night, really the day, when niggas wasn't expecting it, when motherfuckers had given up. Thought that Damian Lillard might maybe go to training camp. And on top of that, you tell me we get drama. So Damian Lillard, if y'all don't know, is real tight with a reporter called Chris Haynes. A lot of the time, some of these athletes will develop really, really tight relationships with certain reporters, and those guys will be the guys that'll get the real, for lack of a better term, juicy news, right? The real stuff, and they'll give us a lot of the great reporting, right? Not to say that LeBron has had a particularly personal relationship with this person, but somebody like Brian Windhorst and LeBron is the kind of relationship I would describe Chris Haynes having with Damian Lillard, right? But just having more of a direct line of contact. Those are homeboys, right? So we got some great details about what's been going on behind the scenes in Portland, and Damian Lillard has said that what the experience definitely left a sour taste in his mouth. Aww. I'm sad about that. The experience definitely left a sour taste in his mouth, but he loves Portland. He says he's always going to live there and everything like that. Boom. Let's just start first. Raw impressions of the trade. Who the fuck saw Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee? There were slight reports, I guess, that Milwaukee was in the mix, but I wasn't considering Milwaukee as a real destination for him.
Actually, in the mix, early May, April, pretty damn early. They were just being really, really quiet about it. Reportedly, and apparently there was a bettor who had. I'm assuming this bettor was absolutely a Milwaukee fan and was just taking a shot in the dark. But yeah, there was a bettor that actually predicted Damian Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks. So we can't say that nobody would have thought.
No, it definitely is. Because I want to be careful about acting like it wasn't in the ether, right? Like no one in the world had said it or predicted it, right? But I don't think it's the same as say when Kevin Durant went to Golden State and there were very, very, very clear mechanisms working and behind the scenes, and if you were paying attention, you kind of knew that was a big possibility, right? And it was just motherfuckers weren't really paying attention. This wasn't that, right? Damian Lillard definitely didn't get to go where he wanted to go in Miami, and via the story that was dropped, there were reasons that he didn't go to Miami, right? Quotes per some of the news that's been broken. The Trailblazers felt they were being pressured into what they deemed to be an unfavorable starting point in negotiations. I don't disagree with that. It's a leverage game, right? And
what do you mean? How could you disagree with it? Miami Heat don't got nothing but a bag of chips on people, bro.
Not only that, the players will leverage this sentiment. They'll leverage public sentiment and leverage what they've done for the organization, as they should. I think sometimes what we have to remember is that...
I love you, but none of that matters when your team got players, bro, that they're willing to give up. The problem is the Heat ain't willing to give up nobody that's worth giving up.
But there was also a lack of willingness to negotiate with the Miami Heat. And this is why the Miami Heat will probably be pursuing some type of tampering investigation in regards to the whole situation, is that there was just a general lack of interest. And not that this is something that doesn't ever happen, right? Like, it was like pulling teeth for LA to get Anthony Davis. But ultimately they did, right? It felt like after opening negotiations where apparently Portland made it known that they either wanted Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo back, which good on fucking Portland.
So hold on, let's stop right there real quick. Keep your point. Look what you just brought up. They wanted to keep Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. He wanted to go to LA as an AD. They gave up Brandon Ingram, a generational talent. So off the rip, no matter how much you're putting pressure on us, at least we're getting something so we can work with you. The Heat gave them nothing to work with. There's
Fair.
only 2 people on the Heat worth talking about.
Fair. And I
Maybe Tyler
Give
Hero
me
too.
a player.
Maybe Tyler Hero.
Oh, you were always gonna have to throw Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
in there.
you can argue Tyler Hero as well.
You were always gonna have to throw Tyler Hero in there.
He's not a generational talent at all.
True.
But still solid.
But it's not like you're trading a 27 or 28-year-old Damian Lillard. You are trading a post 30-year-old Damian Lillard who at the end of his contract will be making some ridiculous amount like $36 million or something like that at like no. Maybe like close to $40 million at like 36 years old.
And if he's still playing at this level, he's looking to re-up. You know what I mean?
That sounds amazing. But at the end of the day, if we look across the league, just like the Suns did, they got Ayton. Like, at least give me somebody.
Yeah,
that's gonna sell tickets.
Well, first of all, the Suns completely saved that whole entire trade. Like, if the Suns are not a part of that trade, I don't think Dame ends up in Milwaukee.
Here's the thing. The Suns ain't saved the trade. The Suns saved themselves because Ayton never wanted to be there. So
yeah. No. It's a kill 2 birds with one stone type of deal.
Also,
but without the Suns, in my opinion, without the Suns being a part of that trade,
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
That's not true, though.
It is true. No, because then
the Raptors were willing to step in.
No. What I mean by is there has to be a third team for this trade to even occur.
The Raptors were willing to step in.
No, but it wasn't the Raptors. It was the Suns. The Suns were the ones who stepped in, and they saved the day. And they were able to take care of the DeAndre Ayton problem, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even think we got to go quote unquote. Right? The team. A lot of players on the team had it with DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton had it with the team. That's it, right? Like, and they find a smooth way to get him out and get something that they can tolerate having, or maybe move for something else down the line.
Right.
Now, with what you guys are saying, it's not that necessarily I disagree with you guys about Portland being up against a wall here, regarding Miami specifically, right? I will say, though, it did seem to get somewhat personal, and it does between these organizations. And this is the tricky thing. When these players leverage things like, say, I'm demanding a trade, and here's my list, right? This wasn't always the case. I don't think it's always been this prominent list culture where now you can pretty much expect when a superstar who's put in a certain amount of time demands a trade, or really when a superstar demands a trade, period, that he's going to have a list of places he wants to go, right? And there's just pressure that gets put on organizations that really feasibly doesn't have to exist. An organization can work like any other organization in service of itself first and foremost, right? There's this whole idea about, especially small markets, not wanting to generate ill will with players because it might motivate them not to want to stay there. I think some of that is overblown when you're talking about some of these small market teams because it is so fucking difficult to get a player of a certain ilk to stay there in the fucking first place. Fucking Anthony Edwards.
Let me
it feels like people are already putting a clock on how long Anthony Edwards will be in Minnesota.
Let me tell you this. Ownership, GMs, they have a big control over who goes where. You know why? Because just like you brought up companies, any company that chooses to think about themselves first, as soon as people find better opportunities, they leave.
Yeah.
I don't care what we're talking about. Companies you work for, companies that are that hire third-party vendors. If that company that's hiring you treats you like shit and worries about themselves first, you're going to find the first thing smoking out of there, and anybody asks you about them, they're going to say, don't work for them if you have a better option. So,
true, but the NBA has
the difference between the league, what it used to be, and the league now is that players communicate and are in a better working relationship than they used to be. So other players, call other players, talk to other players. What's it like here? Do you like this or who you don't like? How do they treat you? Oh, don't come here. Oh, come play with me here. Back in the day, it was like, fuck you, we all enemies. We're not on the same team. Yeah. And the GMs and the owners were the ones commingling and speaking. And the players were at a disadvantage. Once the players started, talking, being on the same level, now the owners kind of have the disadvantage, like you're saying, just because now you have to treat your employees like you give a fuck.
But then again, to your point though, Lee, like I would say though, the teams kind of do as they please anyway. In some situations, kind of like this one. Was Milwaukee a part of Dame's original list?
Yes,
they were.
Also, the teams the teams do have more of a control. The NBA, the league at large, does have more of a control, especially in the way that they set this up, where you think that the best and brightest that have worked the hardest to put themselves in the best position talent-wise to ascend in this working pool from their young age. They're drafted, right? That inherently takes control away from them. And then the contracts are structured in a way where it only behooves top talent to stay with the organization that drafted them for 5 to 9 years or something like that, right? Like, so
if that,
we understand the uniqueness there, and we understand that the person with the power will always, and this is why we don't feel bad for organizations, right? But on the flip side, we don't feel bad for a guy like Damian Lillard sometimes. I've been super on my I don't feel bad for Damian Lillard. And honestly, I'm soft. As it all comes out, and I think about it, I'm like, aw. Like, you feel me? Like, you got his little feelings hurt. I get it. But you bought so fucking firmly into the side that you're not even on. This whole loyalty kick. You lean all the way into this celebrity status shit. You, like, oh, this city, I have this. And maybe you fucking do have this relationship with this city, right? But at the end of the day, you're on this team. You're playing for this fucking team. You're trying to do what's best for yourself. The reason that you stayed on Portland for so fucking long is because you knew that you could cement yourself as a top 75 player of all time, which you did. You knew that you could cement yourself as worthy of having your jersey retired, which you fucking did. And you knew that you could cement yourself as possibly the best trailblazer in the history of the fucking franchise. And you fucking did that. You achieved all that while slandering other people along the fucking way. Right? For making their own decisions. And Kevin Durant was universally slandered. I'm not going to super pile on Damian Lillard like he's the only NBA player to open his mouth and say something disrespectful about what Kevin Durant did. It is what it fucking is. Right? And Kevin Durant, he don't make it hard. It don't make it hard to hate on him, right? You know what I mean? He told his mans to his fucking face not to worry about what's going on at that level of the league. You know what I'm saying? Worry about your little cute shit you got going on over there
that was
in
crazy.
Portland.
I ain't gonna lie.
And Damian Lillard has served his time. He's seen it all. We've seen the highs. We've seen the lows. We've seen the playoff buzzer beaters. We've seen the not making the fucking playoffs. Yeah. We've seen CJ McCollum come and go. We've seen it all with him. But you was talking a lot of shit. And now you have this experience at the end of the day that shows you that you are no different from everybody else.
Could it be?
And you had your diva moment.
Hold on. See, I gotta pause, because I'm not feeling the whole you saying he's not different. He's actually very much different.
No,
everybody else.
He served his time on his team for as long as it was profitable for him too, and as long as they would give. Stop. Wait, just let me finish. Just let me finish. And as long as he was in a position to make more money than any other organization could pay him, or maybe was willing to fucking pay him. And now that he's getting into his twilight years and he's been there a while, he wants to go somewhere where he can have a chance to win. Now, I'm gonna let you finish what you got to say, because that's gonna segue. That's gonna segue into something very interesting about this whole story.
People don't stay with an organization for 10 fucking years. Leak. That's not.
You know what's funny? He tried to.
He did.
No, not only that. First of all, almost everybody does. Almost everybody. Yes, almost everybody stay. The difference is he took a set of extensions, right, rather than signing contracts at the end of his contract. That makes and he did stay a little bit longer. Yes, he also came into the league a little bit later. But aside, as far as year wise, so it's like this is like probably year 10 for him. And like how long was LeBron with the Cavs?
11.
How long was LeBron with the Cavs?
Years.
9 years. How long was Dwight Howard with Orlando? I'd imagine a similar amount of time. He was drafted in 2004.
6 years.
No.
Yes. What do you mean? He got drafted with the Cavs when he was 19. His last season he was 25. He was there for 6 years.
Was it 6?
I'm telling you. I'm not asking you.
He got drafted in 03.
That must have been something about the way the contract was.
And
then he played out his contract.
And then 2010 he was in Miami.
It doesn't happen.
No, the contract. No, it's actually normal. The contracts were shorter back then, so the year scale is different than what I'm saying. Contracts were shorter back then,
bro.
Now you can sign for longer, so it ends up being 9 or 10 years. Back then, you could leave in like 6 to 8 years.
What I'm trying to, bro, your rookie.
But contract, but it's very normal for guys to.
Contract is a 2-1. It's always a 2-1.
Yeah, but it's very normal for guys to re-up twice, get the most amount of money they can get via their bird rights and shit like that.
Can we describe what a 2-1 is for the people who don't know who a 2-1 is?
A 2-1 is you get 2 years guaranteed, and then you get usually a team /player option on your last year, depending on.
Yeah, but this is for first round players.
This is for pretty much everyone. If you get signed, you're just not guaranteed a contract if you're a second rounder.
And
if you're a second rounder and you get signed to a 2-1, but it's for sure a team option for your last year.
And the numbers vary based on draft positioning. So like the first pick is eligible to make more money than like the 15th pick.
Yeah.
But what I mean there is that most of these players, what you'll see is most really good players will re-up twice and then leave. Right? Damian Lillard stayed a little bit longer than that, and I'll give him credit, but for what? It worked out for both parties.
He begged the Trailblazers to get someone, and they got no one.
But they couldn't though. But they couldn't.
But here's the thing.
That's not.
He's moving. Here's my problem with his attitude throughout. This is where blind loyalty gets you. You spoke out in favor of it, so vibe out. You got to be low key now. Now that you turn in the whole other direction. You got to be low key.
What do you mean by be low key? Explain that. I don't know what you mean.
Like this whole not even. I don't even want to accuse him of being like really loud about it because he's been really quiet about the situation. I just have trouble drumming up any kind of real sympathy. Like I see a lot of people drumming up for him when I'm like, he should have prepared himself to be here, right? And he did a lot of slandering of other people who found themselves here earlier than he did, and I don't understand that. From the perspective of him, his position in the league as somebody who is a coworker of those people.
Okay, league. I don't think you're understanding that these people didn't do what he did. They weren't 33.
That's just happenstance.
Saying, please, you can't say that. You can't say it's happenstance because
he's demanding to leave while he still has a significant amount to offer, and he's not trying to offer it to the Trailblazers anymore.
He is 33.
Okay.
He just tore his cord 2 years ago. He's looking down the barrel of a loaded gun. He's not KD, AD, who have nothing but the future ahead of them. He's 33 years old. He tore his abdomen. He's been in and out of injury last year. Mm-hmm. He's looking at what's in front of him, and he's looking at what's behind him. There's more years behind him than in front of him, no matter how you cut it. I doubt Damian Lillard is going to play for 22 years in the league. He got drafted at 22. So the point that I'm making is that he's not tripping. He's doing what players don't do. Players don't give 10 years to an organization and say, I'm still willing to stay. It is a fact that he was still willing to go back to the Trailblazers. And the GM said,
told him no.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Players don't even do that.
Told him no. To touch on that story, which was in Bleacher Report, right? The Heat say a quote from that is, the Heat say they never had a legitimate opportunity to negotiate. Throughout the process, they felt Portland allowed emotions to get in the way of business, and Lillard's can't believe that it had become personal. Lillard then said that if a deal couldn't be worked out with the Heat, he would prefer to rescind his trade request and return to the Blazers. Cronin's response to the 7-time All-Star was that there was no coming back.
Exactly. So that's the point. Okay, so that's my point. One, there's so many things that players don't do. A player never says, I want to go here. If you can't get me here, I'm willing to play for you again. That never happens.
This is also just a part of Damian Lillard trying to wear two hats, though.
How?
Because he's clearly not comfortable with what he's doing in the fact that he has not really come to terms with the fact that he's a superstar that wants out. And there is no coming back. Generally.
That's not true.
I know. Kobe Bryant has come back. A bunch of people come back.
Trailblazer fans do not give a fuck. Just like
it's not about the fans. It's about you can't owe it.
Was on the way to go sign to the fucking Magic.
It's not about the fans, and these players have to make personal decisions.
Okay, the organization, the San Antonio Spurs, did not care that Tim was on the way to sign to the Orlando Magic, but Doc Rivers said when he got there that his wife couldn't come on the team plane, and he dubbed it and went back.
Yeah, but those guys were much younger. If, like you said, if Damian Lillard was 25, I think they would be coming back. If there wasn't an owner who's trying to shift the culture, who clearly has Anthony Simmons, who he's trying to empower, who clearly just drafted Scoot, who is clearly looking to a future without Damian Lillard and possibly trying to make a name for himself based on what he does in the aftermath of Dame Lillard, who is possibly trying to drum up support for himself and being like, I'm only rocking with the guys that want to be here. Right. Look at Hollywood and how he tried to dip on us. Right. Ain't no coming back. Right. These are the mechanisms that are at work here that all of these players have to deal with.
And you know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like?
That Dame has been dealing with. But it's it's all gravy when you haven't shaken the boat.
It's ungrateful as fuck, bro. I'm grateful as fuck.
That may
if I gave you 10 years of my career, and then I tell you, yo, can you make a better team for me? You don't do it because I'm 33. I say, yo, I want to play.
Can you
over
make
here.
a better team for me is a real easy thing to say. It's not as easy to do, especially not in Portland.
It's not easy to do, but it's easy to do when you have 10 years to fucking do it.
Okay.
But they don't want to do things that LeBron's teams do.
And
Damian Lillard also doesn't want to be on bad teams.
To play devil's advocate, to support
and sometimes it takes claim. But hold on, sometimes it takes a star being on a bad team for a certain amount of time in order to make something shake. Damian Lillard is
even more than that.
Damian Lillard started his career a little younger.
But look,
just like the Lakers, for example, the Lakers said they refused to leverage their future for LeBron James right now. Because he's 38. Okay,
yeah, but they constantly.
But at LeBron at 33, LeBron at 32, LeBron at 30, LeBron at 29, LeBron at 34, a bunch of teams leveraged their future, gave away everything in a bag of chips to make the team better now. Because that's what you can do in the NBA.
Yeah, but also the teams that LeBron James has been on, if you look at it, it's a little bit more complex than that. Miami, it wasn't as hard to get players to come there to play with that big three. It was a lot of people on. It was like a veteran minimum shit going on, but they was like still had a lot to offer, and there were valuable pieces around those guys. Then when he went back to Cleveland, he orchestrated it to be exactly how he needed to be, and the fact that Kyrie was already there, and he made sure Kevin Love was going to be there, to the point where the Cavaliers had Gordon Hayward in the fucking facility. We're about to give him the bag, and Gordon Hayward was about to be the big signing, and then they got a call that it was possible that they could get LeBron. And so Gordon Hayward left that day not having been offered a contract, and he was ready to take one and had expected to have one. Then he calls Kevin Love. Kevin Love, who is not interested in going to the Cavs at all. Then LeBron reaches out to Kevin Love and his people, and I was like, oh, now I'm going. So he want to come if I come, and then Kevin Love goes. Then he goes to L.A. It's not particularly difficult to get players to come to L.A. So he's not in the situation that Dame is.
LeBron has been on. They have leveraged their future.
But they've also had things to leverage for that future. Portland doesn't have a whole lot of things to leverage for that future, which is why a guy like Damian Lillard usually leaves a place like Portland nowadays earlier. He did not, and that's on him, right? And now he's trying to do the best that he can to put himself in position, and I would argue that he has, right? Because let's actually talk about the fucking trade. Let's talk about the trade now. First, I want to point out what Milwaukee is gaining here, because we know what they've lost in Jrue Holiday, which is an upper echelon premium fucking defender, right? And some would argue leader, right? For somebody who is just at the mountaintop of offensive impact in today's NBA. If you want to talk about perimeter shot making, if you want to talk about rim shot creation and finishing ability, if you want to talk about gravity, if you want to talk about playmaking for others, and a lot of that has to do with that gravity, but Damian Lillard is a bona fide, in terms of offensive impact, top 5 to top 10 player, depending on the season. To go with another guy who's bona fide top 5 for sure, not top 3 offensive and defensive impact on the floor, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This team, while having retained Chris Middleton, is absolutely ridiculous and has totally shifted the conversation in the East this year. Totally fucking shifted it to somewhere where I didn't even think it would go. Milwaukee is usually at the top. You usually have to, I think, didn't they finish with the number 1 seed last year in the East? I don't know, but yeah, Milwaukee is generally at the top, right? They have won a championship recently with that core that they had. You have to put them in the mix of that every year, but having a player this dynamic to go alongside Giannis, who is also like so complimentary, Giannis who commands so much of this attention around the rim, Giannis who I don't think has ever played with a ball handler of this caliber, right? Especially not having played with somebody with this level of offensive gravity. Like, this is going to free so much for both of them up, where it's like neither of them have ever been in a situation like this. And I think we stand to benefit from watching them together. But I didn't have this on my fucking radar at all. Mm-hmm. I did not. Portland gets DeAndre Ayton, which is like, I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, but just like, I don't know what to make of that. And I feel, and a lot of the conversation has been poor Jrue. And you do feel bad for Jrue, right? Jrue, who recently said publicly that he wanted to retire a Trailblazer. I mean, it was, pardon me. He wanted to retire a Buck, and that he ultimately gets sent like 2 places in 2 days is fucking crazy, right?
I mean, Portland was obviously not going to be the landing spot for him, though.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like, I think pretty much immediately people knew that he wasn't going to stay there. Like, it was probably going to either be like a buyout situation or a trade situation. More so a trade situation because there's a lot of value in Jrue Holiday and you can get a lot back for him. So, like,
and in the initial trade, we say initial trade because Jrue Holiday has since been traded again. The Bucks received Damian Lillard. The Trailblazers received DeAndre Ayton, a guy named Tamani Kamara, Jrue Holiday, a 2029 first-round pick from the Bucks, and 2 first-round pick swaps with the Bucks in 2028 and 2030. The Suns received Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson.
Got Grayson.
Hold on, pause though.
Yeah, the
Don't
Suns.
say a guy named Tony Kamara, bro. That dude has a family. He works hard for what he do.
Okay, so say his name again.
Say his name. Just say his name.
So there's Tamani Kamara. The Suns received Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, Nasir Little, and Yusef Nurkic. The DeAndre Ayton issue has been solved. And I feel crappy because I've been building him into this season.
And
I always forget.
He seems happy.
I always forget. I mean, he's out of an environment that was really frictious for him. I think that this was just not it. That just was not it. He was rubbing against people rubbing against him. It became, I think, not untenable, but I think that situation was already right. Like it was a tough situation for everybody. But now the Bucks. The question now, right? Because since then, Jrue fucking Holiday has been traded. Jrue Holiday has been traded to the Celtics. And Brogdon and Robert Williams, a third, are gone.
All that and a bag of chips. Celtics just said, fuck. Fuck that depth.
Now, I've read.
What you mean, fuck that depth? What you mean? Yes, hold on.
Well, depth is out of fashion nowadays.
Hold on, exactly. Especially in the playoffs. But what I'm going to say to you is, yes, we are missing Rob. Rob will be missed, 100%. But, my good sir, when you have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Jrue Holiday on the court together, please believe that we will see a lot of success this season. I need you to know that.
You guys have the best group of wing defenders in the league.
And not to mention, going into the season, both JT and JB are going into this with a defensive mindset, trying to make all defensive teams. So it shall be interesting to see. You know what I mean? Because if we get a lot of turnovers, we're definitely turning that into points. You know what I mean? Like that's just
again, you guys do have the best defensive wing setup in the league.
And Derek coming off the bench.
Yeah, I mean,
or might start. I don't know.
And with Jrue Holiday,
I don't know how they're going to do it.
With Jrue Holiday, who for his position and role spends an outstanding amount of time defending power forwards and centers, like who is just ridiculously versatile on top of what we know he already brings on the ball as far as defending wings and guards. It is a defensive smorgasbord in Boston, especially with. Listen, Porzingis is underrated a little bit, I think, as a defender. It used to be that people overrated. It used to be, I think, that people.
I don't think so either.
First of all, well, he's had poor moments in Dallas, and his attitude and body language has not always been the greatest. His efforts not always been the greatest.
I don't think so. I think he had poor offensive moments, but he always blocked shots.
But all right, so I'll say I was surprised to see how effective a defender Kristaps Porzingis was, as far as the numbers suggested last season. I was.
What do you mean, though?
So I was surprised, nigga.
He averaged almost his least amount of blocks last year.
Yeah, but as far as actually his impact on the court defensively last year, it was more productive than I had imagined. I was buying into a lot of what I was hearing on the heels of him coming out of Dallas, and I wasn't paying attention to him in Washington.
Because the Wizards don't play any fucking defense, and it's just him.
Sure.
So
sure.
When you're on a team where no one else is basically like a fucking runway to the lane. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like in Dallas, he averaged two and a half blocks in Dallas. Like, so that was because again, Dallas still had that problem. It's a fucking runway to the lane over there. So
I mean, yeah, like currently right now, and they still didn't fix that problem this whole offseason.
So yeah, when you're on teams like that, just.
So then I'll just ask, I guess. So do you think that Kristaps Porzingis will be a defensive positive for the Celtics?
If he can stay on the court, which
I
don't
would
think he
hope. I would hope so. As a Celtic fan, I would hope that his 7-foot ass is definitely going to be solid. You know what I mean? Next to maybe Al Horford lined up next to him. Maybe just him and JT. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Are you super comfortable with how like integral Al Horford just like continues to be for your team, given that he's
surprised? No.
Older?
Surprised? No.
But like, is there
surprised
ever a
like
part of you?
Surprised like probably like a couple years ago? Yeah.
But is there ever a part of you that is like, one day the wheels are gonna fall off of this?
Yeah,
Oh
I think about that all the time.
It's fucking apparent.
Yeah, it's very apparent
shit.
because he has games where he's so effective on defense, and it's a real 3-and-D situation at the 4. I don't understand it, but like, you know,
It works.
it works,
And he's good.
especially like the series against Philly. Him like, yeah, JoJo is gonna get his 30. But like, it's a 30 on 30 shots, 30, 40 shots. You know what I mean? Like, Al is making it real tough for him, especially in key moments when we need stops. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, having him paired up with Porzingis and JT, like, yo, we are a super tall team who can all shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can all spread the floor, and we should be, you know, it shouldn't be a runway to the lane with us at all, at no point.
I will say though, I got more. I gotta redo my prediction to make the finals last year, man. In the East.
I mean, listen.
I'm sorry. I got
get
Milwaukee.
it, bro. I get it.
I got motherfucking
I
Milwaukee.
still got my boys.
Now y'all are tough.
I still got my boys.
Wait. I do need to give it up because I didn't know what we were gonna do. We lost Marcus Smart. I'm like, yo, where is the thuggery and buggery gonna come from? Right? Like, where is the showmanship? Who's gonna rally these troops? Who's gonna get us into our shit?
Look what we did.
We got Jrue fucking Holiday.
Look what we did.
We just went out and got better Marcus Smart. That's what we did.
I knew that one was coming.
We just went out.
I knew that one was coming.
Because just when you
I
thought
knew he was gonna say
just
it.
when you thought the former defensive player of the year, ironically, the real person who should have been the first guard, the real person who should have been the first guard since Gary Payton.
Yo, Mark, Depoy, you hear me? You will be missed, my boy. Fuck what he talking about.
They can't take that from you, but you
Fuck
won't.
what he talking about.
You will not be missed.
You will be missed, my
No,
good sir.
you won't, because
you will be.
We immediately replaced you with Jrue Holiday.
Fuck what he talking about.
We immediately replaced you with
listen,
Jrue Holiday.
Jrue, welcome to the team.
Who had you looking shaky
Jrue.
in the playoffs.
Jrue, welcome to the team,
Who had
my
you
boy.
looking fucking shaky in the playoffs.
We gonna get him back for you, my boy. Don't even worry about nothing. We gonna get those boys because it will be us.
And that's
it will be us going to the dance.
That's actually one of the reasons.
Hold on, real quick though.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Go ahead.
Super random. Shout out to white America, man.
Okay.
You guys are the power of white America has never been unmatched, man. I mean, never been matched. Because the fact that Taylor Swift is dating this man, Travis Kelce, and she has turned this man up. Shout out to white America, man.
You don't think Travis Kelce was turned up?
Wait. Not just turned him up. We're talking about
turned up the whole Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm talking about like
so
TV, like TV deals, like viewership. You know, like buying merchandise. Like not just his life, like just turned up the entire shit. The entire thing.
Insane.
Yeah.
You don't think it was
insane.
You don't think it was Jackson Mahomes?
Huh?
You don't think it was
Come on.
You don't think it was
Huh?
You don't think it was
Come on,
JM?
bro. Don't mention that man, bro. that man has hurt people, bro. Relax. Anyway,
Whoa.
what I'm trying to say is like, shout out to y'all. Shout out to pop culture. Like, I don't get me wrong. I like some of the Taylor Swift songs.
I like
What
some
you
of the
gotta do
Taylor
with
Swift songs.
You know what I'm saying? But
Well, marketing is just that. Oftentimes, it don't be having nothing to do with nothing. It's just about getting people to pay attention, and Taylor Swift commands attention. Taylor Swift commands
she
attention.
Keep it together, man. She's real big right now. Every big pop star I ever known, they didn't make it out the storm. But
Yeah, every
Let's
big pop star you ever known ain't that pure lily white. All right, she's got the hopes of a lot of white women on her back, and she's gonna carry them. However, we got another podcast where we can really get deep into that. Yeah.
Back to this thing.
So what I'll say.
What I wanted
go
to
ahead.
say though, hold on, real quick though. What I was gonna say now, outside and towards that. One, Jrue Holiday could never be DPOY over Marcus Smart because he doesn't do too much plays that Marcus Smart does.
Don't matter. He's better at defense. He's a better
which
defender.
Isn't necessarily okay. Again, which isn't necessarily. I'm not saying these plays are conducive to winning, but Marcus Smart does too much, and it adds up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, but Jrue Holiday is better at defense. That's all I'm saying.
It's just like
I know what you're saying though. There's narrative reasons that people win these awards.
It's an analogy. For example, I'll give you an example. Football, right? Somebody like Trayvon Diggs might get more picks than somebody like, I don't know, Patrick Surtain or certain people, but that doesn't mean he's a better corner. He just takes more gambles.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes he gets baked because he's out here gambling.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say that's the difference, and that's why Jrue wouldn't get it because he doesn't gamble as much. He just plays solid defense. He's
just fucking clamps motherfuckers. Just makes motherfuckers. It just puts them in hell. A professional putter in hell of niggas.
Just not against that, Miami. That last
Done it to KD. Done it to whoever you want to say.
But hey,
didn't
one thing I
do
say
it to
with
Jimmy.
Miami is hard, bro, because
y'all didn't do it to Jimmy.
You don't know who's
Nobody
gonna score.
did.
All right, so don't bring that up.
You got guys
Nobody
from LA
did.
Fitness over
Besides
in
the
Miami
niggas they
scoring
lost
30
to.
points.
You said
Because
what?
you doing because you doing all this.
LA Fitness scoring 30 points in Miami. So how could it's hard. You don't know what these guys don't got a scouting report.
Boys from LA Fitness. What are you talking about?
Bro.
Caleb Martin and them boys.
Oh my God.
Max Strus and them boys. This is a whole LA Fitness rec team, man.
You a disrespectful nigga.
Guys.
And why are you laughing? They sent you home.
Nigga, you can't even be in the same gym as them. I'm sorry.
Understand.
I don't know what team I'm talking about. We got
all
to
these other teams.
fuck out of here. What is this nigga? Nah, my fault, G.
15,
Because what is this nigga even talking about, bro? This nigga favorite team, well, I think it is the Brooklyn fucking Nets. Nigga, y'all can't even be on the same court as any team we just named
He really a
right
Warrior
now.
fan.
So what are we even talking about?
He really a Warrior
Bro,
fan.
I don't know what fan he is. I couldn't tell you. I could name about like 10 teams right now.
Warrior fan.
Could be the Nuggets.
Fan.
You know what I mean? Like who the fuck knows?
Y'all got me feeling
I guess it just depends on the day.
Y'all got me feeling like Skip Bayless. I gotta sigh and sip this Diet Coke slow.
Yeah, whatever, my nigga. Yeah, this nigga be chatting, bro. What is he talking about? He sent us home. He sent everybody in the East home.
Stop copping his plea right
What
now.
do you mean?
Stop copping his plea right now.
Ain't y'all wouldn't even be able to beat him.
What I'm saying is, don't cop the he sent everybody home plea
Stop
right
it,
now,
bro.
because what you doing right now is being like, well, we lost to the niggas who made the finals.
bro.
You said you was gonna make the finals, nigga. Hold on, G. Hold on, G. Hold on, G. This is
And I was
personal.
wrong.
I know. I'm gonna give
And
you a
I was
second.
wrong.
This is personal.
And I was wrong.
Nigga, you said you
Right.
was gonna make the
Right,
finals.
and I was wrong.
I didn't step on this podcast
guess
and
what
say
I'm
that. No,
saying?
wait, no, hold
But
on.
guess what I'm saying
I
now?
didn't step on this fucking podcast and say that the Brooklyn Nets were gonna win it all.
Right.
You every single
Guess
year.
what I'm saying right now?
Say you're gonna win it all.
We go into the
same
dance.
thing you've been saying. We
go
going to the dance. Why don't you just
go
say
into
you're
the
gonna
dance.
win it all?
We go into the dance.
Why don't you just say you're gonna
We
win it all?
go into the dance.
Why
We'll
don't you
get
just say
there.
you're gonna win it all?
I'll say that when we get there.
Why?
I'll say that when we get there.
Don't hedge your bets with this.
No, I'm not hedging anything.
These are your guys.
I'm not hedging anything. I am telling you that we will be going to the dance.
I just don't understand why you won't say you'll win it all.
I ain't gonna lie.
What?
I ain't gonna lie.
Because you don't believe that.
I don't know.
You halfway stepping. Ain't no such thing
Ain't
as
nobody
halfway
halfway
crooks.
stepping, nigga. What are you talking
Nigga,
about?
You're
Listen,
is it
I
Uchi
will
Wally
say
or is it
that
one
when
mic,
we
sir?
get
After what
there.
I saw last year, I don't know, my boy.
You don't know about what?
Bro, y'all didn't.
You
look
know about
good,
what?
Man. Y'all look bad.
We look bad. Gee,
Yeah, y'all looked
we
really
look better
bad,
than
bro.
every team that you like,
How?
and that's a fact. The Clippers
Oh.
better than them. Let's talk about it.
How?
Better than them. Even before the
You
trades.
guys were
Even
fully
before the
healthy.
trades, better than y'all.
Yo, the D-boy better not come off
Better
the
than
bench.
y'all.
That's all I'm saying.
You can't
He's
say
not coming
that
off the
though.
bench. Come on.
Yeah, for now, that's what they're saying. But by the end of the season, the D-boy
Jrue
better
Holiday
start.
is not
The
coming.
thing is, though, listen.
No,
when
not
we
to-
talk about
G. Holiday's not the D-boy. The
teams,
D-boy is
we
the
talk
great
about
Marcus Smart.
All things considered, including health, the fact that you had a healthy team, and that's how y'all looked, it don't look good, man.
Gee.
That's all I'm saying.
Gee, how
Y'all beat by some
many
rec players.
games has Kawhi and PG played in a total of 2-3 years.
Also, let's give the Celtics
health, bro.
Let's cut the Celtics some slack.
What health?
The Heat were just better than them. Those LA Fitness players were just better than the Celtics, and I don't want to shit on those guys because Jason Tatum and those guys, they went out, they worked hard, right, Biggs? You watched. You were proud of your boys.
Yeah,
they left
games.
They left everything.
All 7 games.
Hold on. All 7 games.
All
what?
7 games. We left it all out on the court.
Hold on. Round of applause. They went 7 with the Miami Heat.
Yep. All 7 of them.
They went 7 with the Miami Heat. Listen, y'all niggas better gear up because Giannis and Dame and them might be coming to put y'all over their fucking knee.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, Biggs. Let me ask you a question, Biggs.
You know what's crazy?
Who's your profile picture on Instagram?
You know what's crazy?
Who's your profile picture on Instagram?
The coldest nigga.
Yeah. Just say his name for me one time, nigga. Who's your profile picture on Instagram?
And I ain't gonna lie, nigga. It ain't getting changed either. I swear to God. Cause that nigga cold.
It's Damian fucking Lillard.
That boy cold.
And who you know who else is
cold?
cold? You know who else is cold? Certified winner.
Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Nah, you right. You right.
Thanasis, not so much.
You right.
Thanasis, not so much.
Thanasis,
he is not cold.
And what's the other one? What's that?
Alex?
Yeah.
I don't think that's his whole name.
It's crazy how it's Giannis, Thanasis, and Alex. It's insane to me.
I ain't gonna lie. Niggas said we should be calling Giannis the Nigerian Nightmare instead of the Greek Freak. Because he really Nigerian, but he Greek. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
I mean, he jacking Greece, so we gotta call him Greek.
Yeah,
Freak,
but look at his nose. That's a Nigerian.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Proud people, proud.
He ain't grow up in Nigeria, so ain't none of that shit matter, man.
I think he probably speaks one of the languages, doesn't he? Well, man, fuck that. We're not gonna get into the geopolitical. This is for the other podcast. But
the point that
I think Milwaukee might dog walk y'all.
Dog, you see? So. Word. Like, yo, bro, this is how he always be getting real disrespectful.
Nah, they might dog walk.
And that's how I know he be hating.
No, I'm not hating.
Because, no, you are.
Does Milwaukee have the 2 best players in the series in that situation?
Bro, that's fine.
No, right? Because Jason Tatum is probably better than Damian Lillard.
What they do not have is cohesiveness. They
Hold
don't
on, wait.
They don't have more cohesiveness than our duo.
Oh, my God. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Mixing and matching everything. It's just those
JT
2 guys.
and JB were the highest scoring duo in the league.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
All right. So that's exactly what I mean.
If Giannis and Dame were on the same team and he put those numbers, then they would have been. So it's like
we're gonna see, right? We're gonna see, right? There's no more semantics.
Wait.
We are not gonna see now.
And wait. I want to touch on what you said, G, because you said you don't think that. I think I would lean Jason Tatum over Damian Lillard right now. I do.
Yeah, because he's younger.
But you're saying that you don't. Yeah, in a playoff series. Yeah, in a playoff series next year, you don't think. You think the Bucks have the 2 best players, hands down, 1 and 2, out of all the players in the series.
Hands down, yes.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Why is that holy shit, bro?
No, I don't disagree with you.
I'm so confused.
I don't 100% disagree with you. Oh, Biggs, you definitely disagree with him, so don't do that. But I don't 100% disagree with you. But
you're right. But what does that mean?
You think Damian Lillard is better than Jason Tatum?
No,
that doesn't matter.
So then you disagree with G. G thinks that Damian Lillard is the second best player in the series. Period.
Okay.
Out of all the players,
that doesn't matter though.
Which means that he thinks he's better than JT. I know. I
don't think it matters either.
I am just asking. Do we think, because it is interesting? Do we think that
I don't get.
Bro, he's being a hater. Bro.
I'm not being a hater.
He's being a hater.
First of all,
literally.
If you want me to nerd out about it, no.
If
you want me to nerd out about it, I will. I'm not gonna have to explain 100% the impact of having the 2 best players in a playoff series. Like that's not. I'm not being weird here. I'm trying to tell y'all that generally, when one team has the 2 best players on the court and they're as good relative to the rest of the league as Damian Lillard and Giannis is, that's a big fucking deal. So if they have the better,
are they not both 2 NBA top 75 all time players? Like, what do you mean? I'm confused right now.
Fair, right? And then the next point all right, but here's where we're gonna tie everything together, right? Because then your next point was gonna be okay, but it's not just a 2-man thing. All right, so the way to put a dovetail on all this is to ask: do you think the Celtics have a roster in total that can make up for the sheer talent that Damian Lillard and Giannis are on the court? And if you do you think that relative to that, the Milwaukee Bucks have a roster competent enough to compete with the rest of the Celtics roster?
Of course, that's my point. The point that I was going to make just now was that the key to all of this is if Kristaps Porzingis can stay healthy, which I don't think he will. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he will. So That simple. I think the Celtics will lose because Chris Porzingis can't stay healthy. Plain and simple. Because now they don't have depth. You live JT and them out there. It's JT, Jrue Holiday, and Jaylen Brown with Al Horford and a guy.
Yeah,
do
it's tough.
I just don't think.
It's very tough.
Because now the rest of their bench is just guys.
Yeah,
they're just guys, man.
Yeah,
Derek White, I love him. San Antonio bred, but he's not gonna do it.
Coming off the bench, he will. Coming off the bench, he will
do it for the Bucks. They're gonna get mollywopped. Like Giannis is just gonna run all over this shit. Al Horford can't guard Giannis. He's just too slow.
Giannis is gonna do that.
He got
a lot of people can't guard Giannis.
I'm just saying, Al Horford got cinder blocks of feet. He's good with slow, strong guys, not quick, long guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. That's why he worked out so well with Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid is slow as shit and strong. So, but say he had to guard someone like Giannis or guard someone like, I don't know, just someone light on their feet, he's going to get baked.
Listen, man. You talking about what ifs right now.
So in a playoff series between the Bucks and the Celtics, who do you have?
Chris Jackson's hurt right now.
Yeah, I know.
In a playoff series,
who knows if he will be later on? No, the playoffs is not right now.
In a playoff series between the Bucks,
playoffs is next year.
In a playoff series between the Bucks and the Celtics, who do you have, G?
I just told you, if they don't have Chris Porzingis, I got the Bucks. If they do, I got the Celtics.
Okay, and Biggs, we know you got the Celtics. I ain't gonna lie, man. I think that Giannis. I think that he shook that tree. I think that Giannis understands opportunities and sees in the moments. I think that he shook that tree and got the organization to make a move that he knows he needs to capitalize on immediately. I think we'll see Giannis very inspired, playing at a level perhaps we've never seen him play before next season. I think we'll see a very focused and motivated Damian Lillard and Giannis, who are both looking to secure a championship, who are locked the fuck in. I think that's all they're going to fucking talk about all year next year. They possibly might press conference us to literal death with the you know what I mean? We own this. We trying to win right now. It's a win or bust situation. Fuck you, nigga. Now let me stop. But
same. Literal death was the strong, man.
All right. But I'm saying though, I think that, but on one hand, we'll see Jason Tatum motivated. The Celtics should be motivated because they didn't go back to the finals last year, and I think that they could have, and I think that they think they can this year. And a lot of the moves that they've made, listen, you could argue that it's a flip side. Damian Lillard is this otherworldly offensive player, and Jrue Holiday is this otherworldly defensive player, and they're both at the point now where it's like, let's see how long this continues for. But nah, man, Milwaukee, I believe in Giannis, right? And I think that we need a Bucks Nuggets finals. The people
that's gonna go really bad for the Nuggets.
A small market Olympics.
I don't think we need that.
That's gonna go really bad for who?
The Nuggets. I don't think we need that.
That's exactly why we need it. Because I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna go as badly for the Nuggets as you think.
What do you mean?
I don't.
Why?
I think that in the playoffs, Jamal Murray matches up really well against a guy like Damian Lillard as far as what he'll do and what Dame will do. I think Jamal Murray's going to have a lot of big games in that scenario. I think he's going to put pressure on the defense the same way Dame's putting pressure on the defense. I think Nikola Jokic may be the best offensive player in basketball right now, and that's not going to change because he's playing the Bucks. But I also think that the Nuggets are just really well constructed. That roster is really fucking good.
Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world, but that doesn't matter because
you don't think it's Giannis?
Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world, but what I'm saying is, I think that it doesn't matter because Nikola Jokic is passive.
He's also averaging 25 to 30 a night, but okay.
Okay, never 30, but yeah. I don't like you throwing this 30 never average.
Because I said a night. On any given night, he's going to give you between 25 and 30.
Had to go ahead and, yeah.
Yeah, because he's never averaged 30.
But on every, I'm saying on any given night, he might give you 25, he might give you 30.
Okay, Brandon Jennings had 50. I don't care about you telling me
don't
what he can, bro, he ain't never averaged 30, man. Don't throw that smut around, all right?
So he's going to average 25, and he's going to average 10 plus assists. Shame on him.
All I'm saying is, he's very What's he? Oh, damn. He's very passive though. That's the thing. He's a passive player.
He is the most dominant post scorer in basketball, arguably, and the best mid range shooter in the game. And he's passive.
Yes, okay, yes. And he
averaging
averaged
25 a night.
Listen, granted, he averaged 30 in the playoffs.
Yeah, has a trade ball.
Like this.
So
this passive thing is a reputation thing. This is not true about his game right now.
He averaged 30 in the playoffs, so he can be aggressive. But what I'm saying is he's averaging 30, right, at around 20 shots. So he's very efficient. But at the end of the day, to beat a team like the Bucks, my opinion, you have to be willing to take more than 20 shots, bro. You have to be able to be a 25.
Not if everybody else clicking.
First of all, if the rest of his game is working and his team has come to play, he does. There's no reason why Nikola Jokic, even in the finals, has to take more than 20 shots every single night.
If the others, which they have throughout all of that, the entire playoffs last year, if they're playing at the level they've been playing at, then it's just like he doesn't have to.
Yeah. And
force more shots up.
And also, like you just said,
it's working.
He's obviously putting more shots up in the playoffs to average more points. So I think that Nikola Jokic understands the moment. I think he understands what he's supposed to do and when. And I think that he's focused on breaking the defense more so than he's focused on how he breaks it every night. But I also think that he's underrated as a scorer severely. Because like the idea that he's passive to me is just like, what? He's dominant. He's dominant.
Yeah, but he's passive.
He dominates.
He's a good balance of both.
He does dominate from a scoring perspective. Like he absolutely is a dominant scorer. Like I wouldn't call it passive. I would just say he doesn't force it. But shit, even when he is forcing it, like some of those post shots are just I'm bigger than you and I'm really skilled. Or I can get
Which again is not a force.
Because he works on that.
Sometimes he's just like, listen, position be damned. This is good. I'm gonna make this. Some of them are tough shots. Some of them aren't. They're not all easy shots, but I'm saying he's just not like I don't know. I wouldn't say that he is passive. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, even if he isn't passive, the point that I'm making is that if you line up the Bucks with the first of all right, so you got
I don't even know
Jamal
how we
Murray.
got here. Like, what are we talking about?
Jamal Murray and
If the Bucks could beat the Celtics in the playoffs,
how are we talking about this?
No, we're talking about the Bucks.
Because it's definitely
right now we're talking about the Bucks.
Celtics.
I'm just saying Jamal Murray and Dame Lillard. Jamal Murray, Dame Lillard, Dame's winning. KCP and a guy. Chris Middleton and whoever, he's winning. Giannis and Aaron Gordon, he's winning. Jokic and Brook Lopez, yeah, sure. Jokic can win that, but Brook Lopez is 100% going to make it difficult. That's the type of...
100%?
Going to make it difficult. He's going to make it difficult.
Okay, Bam Adebayo was going to make it difficult. It is what it is. You can't really...
what?
Undersized.
I'm not worried about anybody.
No,
there's nobody in the league that I'm worried about.
I don't think he's 100% making it difficult for
He's a really good defender. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but at the end of the day, I don't think there exists a player that's going to make Nikola Jokic's night hell.
Tough. Like
tough
hell? As you're saying?
Like he might.
I don't think so.
Like to make his night hell for
maybe
7 nights in a row.
Or two,
I can't see that right now.
No.
Not that it can't happen. I got to see it.
For sure.
I got to see it right now. The guy that he is right now, this moment.
What defending 7-footer have we seen Nikola Jokic play?
First of all, also I think like it's a thing like Brook Lopez is a really good defender. Like I don't think that means he's like one-on-one the answer to somebody like Jokic or Embiid. I don't think there is one right now in the league. Or Giannis. Like I think with those guys, you just kind of want to make life difficult and providing
throw
really
a lot of bodies at him
and providing really good rim protection and having a 7-foot body that will constantly be in the right positions around the rim will make life more difficult for those guys. Granted, but I don't think there's a soul that right now you can just say neutralizes Jokic. I'm sorry.
I didn't say neutralizes and make it hard is too nuts.
It's fair.
He's gonna make it difficult.
Now,
who's gonna make it difficult for Giannis over there? No one.
The whole team. And also, Aaron Gordon, they'll throw Aaron Gordon at him. They'll throw different things. Like, Giannis is a similar situation. We're not going to stop him.
Motherfuckers have one good defensive year, man. Now come on. His first good defensive year in his whole career. And now he could, come on, man.
No, it's just he's very versatile, and he's a plus defender. That's all. So I'm not polishing his fucking shoe here. I'm just saying.
That for 1 year.
Okay, so I guess we'll wait and see, nigga. But Baker's over here like, why are we talking about Milwaukee against the Nuggets? He want to talk about the Celtics against the Nuggets. I told you last year the Celtics would get shellacked if they played the Nuggets. It may be a little different now. Like, yeah. Maybe it'll go 6-7. Rather than the 4-5, it wouldn't win anyway. But nah, dog, like, what? You think that y'all pair up well against the Nuggets?
They definitely do.
We do.
The Lakers are a dog walk, y'all.
No.
The Lakers are dog walk, y'all. If they sleeper they way. The Lakers will dog walk the Celtics game.
Absolutely not.
The Lakers are, and Braun will get up for that.
Absolutely.
Braun will get up for that.
Absolutely not.
40.
Absolutely not.
Gosh.
Will AD even be there for that?
Watch yourself.
I hope he will be.
Watch yourself.
I hope he will be for their sake.
Jesus Christ.
What are we talking about right now? No. Nah.
Braun is 40.
Will Jaylen Brown use his left hand?
Nah. Don't need to.
You sent me some.
Don't need to.
You sent me some
Don't
fucking
need
video
to.
the other day.
Yeah.
Sure enough, in that video,
Yeah.
every time that shit touched his left hand,
Ha, ha,
he
ha.
went right back to
Ha, ha,
right,
ha.
or he picked that bitch up.
It don't matter.
To
The
you.
move worked.
It's a highlight
Created
video.
mad space.
It's a highlight video.
Yo, stop it. Stop
It's a
it.
highlight
Stop
video,
it.
though. I'm just saying. It's a
Stop
highlight
it.
video. I
Stop
can
it.
show you a low
Stop
light
it.
video of his left hands.
Stop it.
I can show you a low light video of his left hands.
Stop it.
It don't
You can
matter,
do that with a
though,
lot of
bro.
people.
Braun is washed, though.
Nah.
AD's not going to step up. So
Braun
what the
ain't
fuck are we
Braun ain't
talking
washed, and AD it doesn't stop. Stop your
Son
rhetoric.
said
How is
Lakers
Braun
will
not
dog
washed?
walk us.
Braun is
How is Braun
the,
not washed?
Dog
the
walk us
issue,
is crazy.
because Braun is still a very high impact player. The problem is he going to be
Okay,
healthy?
Michael Jordan was a high impact player on his last year. He was still washed.
Nah, 97, 98, Michael Jordan wasn't washed. Stop it.
Bro,
Stop
Michael
it.
Jordan's last year
Michael
was
Jordan-
2003.
That's not what this is. Stop it. That's not what this is.
What do you mean?
Because Michael
Bro,
Jordan had
LeBron
stopped
averaged-
playing. He had stopped playing. He
LeBron
was an
averaged
owner for a while.
24 and a half.
Don't do
LeBron
that.
averaged
LeBron
24
but
and a
LeBron
half
has
in the
never
playoffs.
retired for years.
LeBron
Like-
averaged 24 and a half in the playoffs, bro. If that's not
That's
washed,
not-
I don't know what
that's-
it is.
One, averaging 25 in the playoffs is washed. Okay, you know what? I guess when you set the bar so fucking high. He was also hurt.
It's washed-
But you're
it's
not.
washed
You're
for-
also
it's
not
washed for
mentioning.
LeBron
But
standards.
it's not when he's hurt.
That's what washed
He was
means.
He was clearly he was injured in a way that he clearly wasn't the guy he was in the first half of the season,
He's
and he
been
played
injured
through
for
it.
the
In
last 3 years.
No,
That's
but
why
I'm
he washed.
saying he made it.
What the
All right, bro.
fuck? This
I
is
mean,
a guy that
yeah,
never
but
used
what
to get
you're
injured.
when you're talking about his playoff performance, you have to mention that he clearly physically wasn't the same as he'd been all season. This is not the same as just getting old. He was hampered by an injury that he had to play before it healed up. That's very different.
All right, do you know what happens when you get older? And
That
why?
happens
You
more
get
often.
injured.
I understand what you're saying.
That's what the fuck.
But I'm
that's
just-
part of getting old.
I
and washed.
understand, but I'm just saying. You're saying he put up 25 in the playoffs as if his ability had diminished to the point where he could no longer summon it up. Like it was like, nah, he was hurt. That's all I'm saying.
The
But
problem
in a
now,
7-game
what happens when
series-
you get washed, you're always hurt.
In a 7-game series, they're not
Did you
dog
ever
walking
did
us.
you ever hear about Dwayne
It's
Wade
not
talk about how
happening.
he knew his career was coming to an end? When
Yeah,
the
Dwayne Wade's
knee
career.
problems that used to be all right after icing,
Yeah.
they wasn't all right after
Yeah, but
icing.
Dwayne Wade- yeah,
And bro,
yeah, but Dwayne
and
Wade
bro
also-
was like, yo, I was not trying to be around for the time where the coach looking down the bench line,
Yeah.
and he looked past me to not sub me in, like,
Yeah, and also,
yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm not.
Also,
I'm
Dwayne
not-
Wade-
I'm
Dwayne-
not about that.
Dwayne Wade had his meniscus like taken out in fucking college, and like had pretty significant injuries in like 07 and 08 and shit like that. That like
But guess what? He used to be
could-
able to muster it up, and he used to get
but
over
he
the
al-
injuries.
yeah, but he also had injuries which made him like separated his career into two halves. LeBron has
Listen
not
to
had
me.
that.
I watched LeBron James roll his ankle in the past, tie
Yes.
his laces up,
Yes.
and dunk on someone's
This was,
head
but
in
the
2
injury
plays.
this year was much more significant.
Now I
than that.
watched him last year before this, not last year, but the year before that, I watched him roll his ankle and damn near have to get wheelchaired to the locker room. He's old, man.
I understand that. I'm just saying that there's no.
That's the difference, bro.
I'm just
Braun
saying
used to roll
that
his
he-
ankle and keep it pushing.
Yeah, but there's a high probability that he won't go into the playoffs next year with as significant an injury. And I think that in that case, he is still probably a top 10 impact player in the NBA in the playoffs and will play like
That's
such.
all
Last year in the
fine and
playoffs-
dandy,
last
but
year
that's
in
not
the-
going to
last
be
year in the
enough.
playoffs-
That's not gonna be enough,
He had
sir.
the biggest
Sorry.
injury, right?
I mean-
last year in the playoffs, the year before last in the playoffs, he averaged 23.3. Come on, talk to me.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that I see the.
He averaged more this year when he was more hurt than he did the year before. So, bro, the dude's washed.
Didn't
man.
he?
Just
But
give it
didn't
up,
he not?
man.
Wait. Didn't he get like eliminated earlier that year? Am I tripping?
Yeah, he played 6 games and averaged 23.3 for those 6 games.
All right. Clearly, you're not on it. So, all right. So, what we can take here is that I'm into the idea of the Lakers being a sleeper, and you are not. Cool.
I mean, I would be into it if I would be. No, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. I had picked the Lakers to make it to the finals, but I know that they're gonna get fucking dog walked when they get there.
So why are you talking all this shit? Like, you don't see them actually succeeding and going to the fucking finals, nigga.
I think they're gonna.
If everything you saying comes to pass, they won't do that.
So wait. Y'all see them beating both Phoenix and Denver?
No. I think Phoenix or Denver is gonna knock one or the other out, and they're gonna beat one of the other.
Right, because you just said the Lakers to the finals, which means that they would have to either beat Denver or Phoenix.
Yeah, he's gonna
or both.
I think they're gonna beat one of them. I think the one of them that they will beat is probably the Suns.
Okay.
I think the Suns will beat the Nuggets, and I think that the Lakers will beat the Suns. The reason why I feel like the Lakers will beat the Suns is because there's only one basketball, and they can't play defense for shit.
Okay.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The Suns.
The Suns.
Oh.
Like, it's only one basketball, so. And KD, while he is immaculate, he's not KD Golden State, so. Yeah.
I got
You mean like what, on the defensive side? Because offensively, I think he's there.
I don't think so.
Offensively, I think he's still that KD, like 100%.
I don't think so. I think he's a notch below, which is already very high, but I think he's a notch below. The shit that I've seen happen to him in Brooklyn, the shit that I've seen motherfuckers have him stumbling, looking crazy, ripping him, having him with 6-7 turnovers.
He was looking very unusual.
Golden State
in that playoff series against my boys.
I mean, Golden State KD like also wouldn't be responsible for as much ball handling as he is everywhere else he's been.
You can't say that when this is his choice. So if he made,
I'm just saying.
Because he was on the court. He was on the court with someone he could have gave the ball to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he's been responsible for a lot more playmaking in Brooklyn, and I'm assuming he'll still be responsible for a lot of playmaking in Phoenix.
Nah, but he didn't.
That he wasn't.
That's by choice, though.
On the Warriors.
Nah, and he didn't. He also didn't get a lot of opportunity to play with those other guys, though. You know what I mean? Like, they played a handful of games together, for real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that whole situation is a what if. You know what I mean? Like, although they were actually on the team together, we never really got to see any type of cohesiveness being attained. You know what I mean?
You're talking about the Nets now.
Yeah, the Nets. Okay. You know what I mean? Like every second one of them was out or two of them were out, and they just wouldn't be. They just couldn't. But when they were together, though, they were unstoppable. Oh, you know what I mean? Like when all three of them were there. Tough, you said what?
I said yeah, but like there's like a 16 game sample size where it's like
yeah, but that was 16 games of what could have been.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it was just a 16 game flash of like, yo, if they can actually get this shit together, they would be essentially unbeatable. You know what I mean? Like it would be ridiculously hard to keep up with these guys offensively. May not be the best defensive team. They could have got there. You know what I mean? Like if they were able to just play together for real. You know what I mean? Like and just play off of each other. My fault, bro. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I think KD is still that guy offensively though. Defensively, I think
he's not Golden State KD. His ball handling isn't as crisp. Right. He's not as strong with the basketball. Like he looks like a paper bag in the wind sometimes, man.
That's crazy.
He just looks frail. I don't know if he toned down some weight for the Achilles. I don't know.
I don't see him looking markedly more fucking frail. I just think that there's a psychological effect of knowing he gets hurt.
I've ever seen him, bro. He put on more weight. He looked stronger with the basketball. He looked decisive.
Yeah, but he also had a lot of his activities interrupted by his injury. I'm sure it's going to take him some size to put on. I mean, a little time to put on as much size or just get as comfortable.
I don't know about that because a lot of people they tread weight when they tear their Achilles. They usually try to stay light.
Fair. I do still think he's really good. Good enough to to be the number one option on a championship team. But it remains to be seen whether or not he can do that this year.
A gust of wind flew through the arena. He rolled his ankle and didn't play, man. Like, that should say everything we need to... I'm just saying, bro.
Okay,
you gotta keep the AC off.
Oh, listen, Kawhi is your fucking guy. Like, I'd be so
Get him
shocked.
The fuck out of
You'll
here.
never catch this man
President
talking about Kawhi Leonard like
Hoop
this.
Club, like, whoa.
You'll never catch him talking about his main man, pots and pans, 100 fucking grand. Like, he'll talk about these other guys, and I'd be wondering why.
A gust of wind never flew through the arena.
Yeah, it does. Every time.
Man, if it rained, Kawhi Leonard's knee is done.
Every time.
Every time it rains, his shit starts
His joints hurt and his shit. His joints ache every time it fucking rains, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Fuck you talking about, man?
Come on, bro.
Your nigga told his meniscus get in the mail the other day, man.
Like, now, granted, when man's hoop, yeah, he's a problem.
It's undifferent.
But man don't hoop.
It's undifferent.
Man don't hoop. So, like, what are we talking about?
Man don't hoop. But man don't hoop because man them team is sus.
Man them team
Kawhi
sus?
Kawhi will strap up them knees whenever his team is put together. He can play on that bum leg. He just ain't gonna play on it for no reason.
This is crazy.
Look,
PG can't stay healthy, man.
Neither of you guys can stay
Both
healthy.
of them can't.
Don't do that.
Both of them.
Don't do that.
Both of them.
Don't
Both of them.
play favorites.
Both of them.
Real shit. Kawhi ain't been healthy since 2012, man.
Gangster.
It is what it is, man.
Gangster.
First of all, don't say I don't think it's since 2012. It's since the Zaza shit,
on
man.
one knee.
Don't do that. That's 2019. He went on one knee. 2012, he ain't went on one knee.
Bro, he been winning. First of all,
It was Zaza that started the real problems.
Nah. Zaza.
Yeah, that Zaza. He missed he was inconsistently for he missed 2 years behind that, and he never was the same.
Zaza stopped him from having his third Finals MVP.
Yeah, but he also missed. No, if you look at his chain of injury history, after that Zaza Pachulia incident, it becomes problematic. Prior to that, it was not really problematic. That's where you start to see long-term issues and complications, and then Tony Parker comes out and says he doesn't know why Kawhi's not back yet, and then Kawhi takes that super personal and it's like, I'm out, and you know what I mean? Guy left. Shout out to Kawhi. Yeah. Left without saying a word. Fuck yeah.
What happened was that was the first time the team played significant amount of games without him, and he realized how important he is. That's really what happened. He's like,
still opened his mouth to say that shit though.
Not only that, he was more hurt than they knew, and the team wasn't respecting it because he wasn't speaking as much. He wasn't being as communicative, and there's a lot of weird stuff around Kawhi. There's his uncle. That's a weird situation, right?
He's the man.
Yeah. I figured you like him, but there's his uncle. That's a weird situation to deal with, and he don't say much. But the uncle apparently is very talkative, and it's just like
his uncle's the man.
And Kawhi, it turns out you can read a nigga's silence as anything you want. It was a lot going on in that man's head, man. It was a lot going on in that man's head, and the Spurs wanted him to be the next Tim Duncan. Even Tim Duncan got tired of being Tim Duncan and was ready to go to Orlando and fuck hoes and pop bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
We don't know that, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. That man has a wife and kids, bro.
Yeah,
he was not
crazy.
trying to go there.
A lot of niggas popping bottles and fucking hoes got wife and kids, but that's not what
I don't know. I don't know much. I don't know those type of guys.
I'm glad you don't. Live your holy life. Live your fucking wholesome shit. You know who won't be? Timmy D. What I'm trying to say, though, shout out to the Virgin Islands, is...
Yo, did y'all see Charlamagne ask Danny Green if he was homosexual? That was crazy, right? Where did that come out?
Why did you ask him that?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Like, I thought y'all knew the Timmy D's homosexual story. Like, why is...
Oh, he asked him if Timmy D was homosexual? I don't know. I don't ever know what the fuck Charlamagne talking about, man. Word. And I used to fuck with him.
No,
but I don't know what the fuck.
I was just asking because I thought it was maybe a thing that I missed.
It probably was a thing that we all missed, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
All right, man. We got anything else on the docket, bro?
Right now, we need to talk about the fact that you heard what Kawhi said about this season, though.
What did he say?
He in his corner store bag, giving the people what they want and need.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we'll see.
This is a quote.
It don't sound like we'll get sick. I mean, I need to just
read the quote.
Okay.
That's the quote.
Yeah, that what he said.
Oh, that's the quote?
Yeah.
No, he literally said that. I'm in my corner store bag. I'm giving the people what they want and need.
Bet.
Also, he has to because of these new league rules. So.
Nah, he actually fits the bill of not really having to be worried.
Give it up for the quote.
Yeah, he also fits the bill of not having to do too much.
We'll see about this quote. All right.
Yeah, he also fits the bill of not like he actually can get away with being low managed. I'm pretty sure under these new rules because he does fit the criteria for somebody who doesn't necessarily have to worry about it. I think that his condition with his. I don't think he'll be able to be as flagrant about it. I think he'll have to follow certain regulations, but I don't think he should be one of the guys affected as much. I think he'll still be able to sit out a good amount, as is recommended by the team's physicians.
I think he's just gonna play less minutes.
That's gotta happen anyway. It's gotta happen anyway. He's getting older, and there's no reason that his minutes should be going up, right? At this age.
Why are you talking about him like he's Damian Lillard's age or something? I mean, like 32.
32 or
His
something.
his knees is older.
100%. 100%.
I mean, you know, winning 2 Finals MVPs will do that to you.
You know,
yeah, grinding your fucking left knee in a protein powder will accomplish a lot as well.
Yeah.
Now, before we leave,
31 years old, by the way.
Before we leave, I just want to say that 2 reports have come out on the Jordan Poole and Draymond Green punch. The punch heard around the world, right? You got Gilbert Arenas' take on it from what he claims that he knows that he was willing to say now that the report is out, right? But what does match up is now the idea is that what was said is that, all right, so to go back, let's tie the 2 stories together. Gilbert Arenas is saying that Draymond Green was really challenging the young guys in practice, and he's that guy. And so, like, in preseason, he was challenging Jordan Poole. He was like, damn, you're losing with the second unit. Da-da-da, you can't lead your unit, this, that, and the third. However, the second unit in Golden State don't win. Steph Curry's not playing that according to Gilbert Arenas. He don't play that shit. Obviously, Draymond Green is very competitive and everything like that. So it's not even like the second team has an expectation of winning. But Draymond Green is somebody who I suppose in this story is fancies himself a motivator and kind of a coach on the floor. And I don't think that I would disagree with him necessarily. And he's really getting on Jordan Poole. And apparently Jordan Poole was encouraged. And this is all Gilbert Arenas' wording of it. Right, is that Jordan Poole was encouraged to fight back verbally against Draymond Green. And then he came and had like a legendary showing at a practice and was talking shit the whole fucking time. And apparently ended up calling Draymond Green an expensive ass backpack for Curry. Like an expensive accessory. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you nice, but you're not what niggas came to the stove for. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, apparently that's not the day. According to Gilbert Arenas, that's not even the day that got JP snuffed. It was even more legendary sucker behavior from Draymond. Apparently the next day, Draymond wanted his get back. Like on his talking shit. And JP was like, nah, I'm good. I got your GOAT yesterday, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing all this. Because I never wanted to play this shit in the first place, right? So apparently, it just like Draymond's trying to get in his face and talk shit, and Poole's like, fuck out of here. And Draymond cold cocks him, knocks him out, right?
Off the fuck out of here?
I mean, like, apparently what we saw in that video, according to Gilbert Arenas, was Draymond trying to just get in his face and talk his shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like, it had escalated to a point where Jordan Poole was like, fuck out of here, I'm not doing this with you today. Like, and Draymond was like, and then with Jordan Poole, plus, like, apparently it was very surprising. More surprising than we might think. Right, but we all got like a hint that there was something going on between those guys. But I'm sorry, I lose respect for fucking Draymond Green all the time behind that moment, and I've let it go. It's not mine to hold on to. I know you don't. It's not mine to hold on to. But my thing with these guys is, I don't care what the fuck was cool in 2002. I don't care what the fuck was cool in 1990. I don't care about none of that shit.
But you one of these new age niggas, though.
No, it's not even about being new age. It's just about being real about how people work and what people respond to. And Jordan Poole is no longer on the Warriors, correct? Okay. And also, I'll tell you this. Jordan Poole, that is the pot calling the kettle. Hold on. That's also the pot calling the kettle.
I had to ship him, though.
That's exactly. Also, that is a case of the pot calling the kettle a Negro. Right? Jordan Poole calling Draymond Green An expensive ass accessory. That is one expensive ass accessory.
Calling
another expensive ass accessory an expensive ass accessory. That is fucking nuts. That is some that is some fucking Inception shit. Yeah. That's a dream within a dream within a dream, nigga. Like, that's a Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
You're an expensive ass accessory. Wait a minute. You too. You know what I'm saying?
The only person at some point that we can argue that was not an expensive accessory was Clay. And KD. What am I talking about?
And I'm not gonna lie. I think that
Finals MVP. What are you talking about?
And I think that I think that Draymond Green is way closer to being nowhere near an expensive accessory. Like, way closer to being like, fuck out of here. You can't talk that way about me. I'm way more important than that and what I do. If you take into totality the entirety of Draymond Green's career at the Warriors, how fucking impactful he was defensively. Like, I'm talking, it is I mean, he's got depoys, right? It's not, or a depoy. I don't know if he has one or two. I always forget, but it's not like it's not been recognized. But defensively, what he brings to the table, all time wise, as well as offensively from a playmaking perspective, and just his understanding of the dimensions of the court, how much better he makes Steph and Clay, as good as those guys already are. Nigga, in terms of like who's more important and who like mattered more for the fucking Warriors, get Draymond Green all fucking day. Especially before Kevin Durant got there. Like, it's not even the conversation.
Fuck all of that, bro. That nigga averaged a triple single, man.
I feel you, dog, but like, I'm just talking about I'm talking about the game right now, and I'm talking about who has a much larger impact on the success of their team. And prime Draymond Green, for the majority of those of the Warriors dynasty, when they was constantly in the finals, contributed way more and was way more integral to winning than Jordan Poole ever did.
The nigga Jordan Poole wasn't there. So what the fuck?
Yeah, but also what Jordan Poole provided in the short time he was there does not touch what Draymond Green provided.
I think in the time Jordan Poole was there, if he wasn't there, they would have lost.
Okay, and if Draymond,
they would have lost.
All right, bro. Okay, cool.
The year they won,
I don't even want to disagree with you. That
the most recent year they won, Draymond Green averaged 8 points, 2.7 turnovers.
If you're going to box score, if you're going to box score to explain,
rebounds.
If you're going to box
and 1 block,
if you're going to box score rather than impact on a team to describe Draymond Green's value, it's always going to look overwhelming. All right, like Jordan Poole is going to look better on the box score a lot of the time than Draymond Green is. I don't think that if you recognize the value of Draymond Green, it cannot be a box score thing. Right? Either you understand his value or you don't. But if you try to use a box score to quantify it, then you're always going to end up undervaluing him. So that's tough for me. Like, for me, you have to use impact metrics and on and off numbers and shit like that to really
hear you.
Understand.
When I go to these other years they won rings, and these other years they're in the playoffs, and his numbers are better, it's hard to... Granted, I hear what you're saying, but his numbers were better. His numbers have gotten worse.
But they're not blow you away.
His numbers were the same.
They're not blow you away, but his impact on the court was blow you away. So what I'm saying is it's not really correlated with him. The numbers have never been what makes him the truth. Right? It's not like he's a 14 rebound a game guy.
Shooting 20.5% from 3 matters. When you used to shoot 40.
Sure. But let's hope one day that Jordan Poole means as much to a team as Draymond Green has been able to enjoy in his career. That's all I'm saying. We do got to wrap this up, though. We've been going for almost an hour and 20. The people going to stick with us, but they don't fuck with us that much, G. I hate to tell you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to give them something next week. Hopefully this holds y'all over. This is a big pod. After some big news, sometimes we get a little bit more extra support. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We're humbled by everything that we see, by the more engagements that we get, and it really means a lot to us that people out here listening. Shout out to you, Prada G, for joining us again. It's been Billy Black and
your motherfucking boy Biggs.
We're gonna take it to the motherfucking theme music. Stay with us, don't fucking play with us. Another episode of the Salt and Nest podcast. Everybody listening, this is the truth. Unless you're a wild nigga, then I can't support you.